Gadiel and The Teeth, Major League Baseball Edition.
And a new episode to Gadiel and The Teeth. We're talking baseball here, folks.
You gotta love the sport of baseball. It is America's pastime, ladies and gentlemen. And it's getting close to the end of the season and playoff time. Can you believe it?
Well, apparently the Teeth couldn't make it tonight, so Howard Cosell had to fill in.
Howard Cosell is back, and he is still alive and kicking. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen?
Well, I think we're going to have a hell of a playoff season here.
Don't talk about playoffs.
Pretty much
you
the
kidding
playoff
me?
picture already lined
Playoffs?
Yeah, I don't think there's any interesting races. I'm back to my regular voice now, if you didn't notice. Howard had to leave, so, he was just filling in for me for the entrance for a second, but I'm back now. But yeah,
Well,
all the races are pretty much decided.
Pretty much, with the exception of maybe Detroit and Minnesota.
I still think
Detroit looks like they're going to wrap that up.
Morneau's out for the season. Detroit's got better pitching with Jackson and Verlander and all those guys.
As long as they don't play the Royals anymore.
I don't think anybody wants to play the Royals right now. They're just rolling. Billy Butler, not Bill Buckner.
Billy Butler.
I don't think anyone wants Buckner on their team. My bad. I'm sorry.
Buckner.
The fattest double machine ever, Billy Butler.
You had to bring up Butler.
I couldn't not. He's Brad Evans' favorite guy. That's all he talks about every fantasy season. I always pick him up, and he does absolutely nothing.
But hit doubles.
He doubles, yeah. He's like, they're going to turn into home runs eventually when he gains another 30 pounds.
You know what he gets when he goes to McDonald's?
No.
A McDouble.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
A McButler double.
Oh, God.
I would totally never order that. It sounds like death.
All right, Teeth. Let's start in the American League.
The American League East?
Yeah, sure. Why not the East?
Yankees got that division.
Yankees and the Red Sox are probably going to get that.
Yeah, the Red Sox definitely.
They already have the wild card wrapped
I don't
up.
think there's any way Tampa or any of those teams can come back.
I think, baseball is right when those two teams are in the playoffs. They always have to be in the playoffs to make it exciting. And Yankees look good. Probably the favorite to go to the World Series since the beginning of the year.
Their offense is the best in baseball right now, I would say. The pitching suspect in the playoffs. I mean, Sabathia doesn't really show up for the postseason.
Jabba the Hutt.
They said he's not going. He might pitch a relief appearance in the first series. They don't know what they're going to do with him. They might start him in the fourth game. But
yeah. Who knows what's going to happen with their pitching? Boston, they're pitching. You throw Dice-K, Beckett, and who am I missing? Lester.
And Buchholz will pitch Game 4 if they need be.
I mean, that's pretty scary, actually. I don't know.
I think Boston has the most balance on offense, pitching wise, and defense, just because. I mean, their rotation is
closers are probably a wash.
Yeah. Rivera's old, but I mean, Papelbon's young, so I mean,
that's a wash.
They're both lights out in the playoffs.
Detroit, their pitching suspect, especially
Fernando Rodney. No blown saves all year. He said he didn't blow the one tonight, but still, he had to give that home run to the powerful Shin-Soo Choo, the Korean sensation or the Japanese sensation, whatever he is. I couldn't stand that.
I would not want to be Detroit right now. Their offense doesn't look that great either.
I don't know where Granderson is. His knees are falling off.
Miggy's falling apart.
He's gaining
Maglio
weight.
Sucks.
Mags. He hasn't done anything since the beginning of last year. I don't know what happened to him. He's like 400 years old now.
And
you got the West. The
Angels. Angels pretty much wrapped it up.
They got that division every year just because Texas can't pitch. They did a lot better this year with Millwood and Hunter and Holland and the guys, but
Feldman.
Scotty Feldman. Is that Scott Feldman? Yeah.
It's Scott Feldman.
Yeah. But Texas just can't pitch. They can hit like no other, but without Hamilton in that lineup and Kinsler, he was hurt half the year. He didn't even play today. I don't know what the hell his problem is.
Yeah. So playoff projections, probably the Yankees are going to be playing
how they play
Detroit.
They play Detroit.
They play Detroit.
Angels. Don't the Angels have the best record?
I don't think so. No, the Yankees will probably play Detroit.
Yes,
probably beat them, and the Angels will probably, I think.
No, the Angels won't beat the Red Sox.
I don't think they'll beat the Red Sox. And then that's what we'll got.
We'll see the NLCS, Red Sox and Yankees, or ALCS, Red Sox and Yankees.
It should be a good match if that happens.
I don't know. I think
you like Yankees or Red Sox? There?
I think I like the Red Sox in that one.
So do I.
You don't mess with Josh Beckett and Johnny Lester in the playoffs.
I would have to go with Boston as well. I just like their team more. Like you said earlier, I think they're well balanced all around.
Yankees.
So we got.
Burnett. You never know.
We pretty much in agreement that we think the Red Sox.
Yeah, I think the Red Sox are in the World Series is a definite. But if they lose somehow in the division series, then I can totally see the Yankees beating the Angels.
All right, moving on to the NL. Phillies wrapped up.
The Phillies.
I'm going out there and saying they already wrapped up.
They'd have to have some kind of miracle collapse. They would have to have a New York Mets collapse to lose this division. But yeah, they got this. They've had it wrapped up since like June 1st.
I'm gonna say since April.
The Central, the Cardinals have because the Cubs are horrendous. They made that Matt Holliday deal, and that was the end of that.
That was the end of that.
The Cubs had that 1-game lead. They won like 9 straight. Then it was all over because they became the Cubs again.
The Los Angeles Dodgers, they've had it wrapped up since the beginning as well.
They've had it wrapped up since opening day.
And
they were up like 30 games.
It looks like the Rockies are going to be that wild card team.
You don't want to mess with Colorado in the playoffs. You know that.
Oh, I know that. But
once they get in that
like
groove,
I said earlier, in the day today, Jeff Francis isn't there anymore.
Cy Young, Jeff Francis.
And Kaz Matsui's not there.
Neither is Matty Holiday.
Matty Holiday as well.
St. Louis.
Exactly. Well, I'll deal with that. I'll cross that bridge when that comes up.
But no other team wants to play their away games in Coors Field. Nobody wants to play there. I don't care who you're pitching.
I'm not afraid of Aaron Cook, De La Rosa, Jimenez, and who?
Marquis.
Oh, Marquis, Jason Marquis.
The sinker baller.
I'm not afraid of any of those guys. They're hit or miss.
That's what you think.
That's what I know.
De La Rosa.
I'll throw Hamels, Lee, Blanton.
I'm not
Pedro.
throwing Blanton in the
play. I'll throw
Hamels and Lee. I'm not throwing anybody else. I'm going 2 rotation.
2-man rotation.
I'm not taking any chances.
I like Pedro.
No, I think he's going to be the closer in the playoffs.
He might be the closer. That's a possibility. We'll get to that later. So pretty much we're thinking it's going to be Philly and
the Dodgers.
Philly and the Dodgers round 1. I like the Phillies in that. I just don't. I think the Dodgers.
The Dodgers are the same team from last year, unless
I just don't think they're. I think the Phillies are more complete all around. I mean, obviously the closer situation's an issue, but I just don't think the Dodgers are. I think they're a little overrated. They haven't done much lately that I can remember. I mean, they started hot and they've kind of just gone through the motions the whole season, just staying in first. St. Louis is the team that I worry about.
I think in the National League, their offense. There's no outs in that lineup at all anywhere. Not with Ludwig and Holiday and Pujols and Lugo or whoever they put in there. But I mean, I don't see one easy out in that.
Up
lineup.
And down though, I think the Phillies compare with them. I mean, we're going to put the Phillies in the Cardinals over the Rockies.
Yeah, the Phillies got the strikeout artist batting.
It doesn't matter.
St. Louis don't strike out.
I still like the Phillies lineup over the Cardinals lineup.
Well, who are you going to take, Hamels and Lee or Wainwright and Carpenter? Because I'm taking Wainwright and Carpenter.
I don't know. If it's Hamels from the playoffs last year and it's Lee, who's been pitching great the last few weeks.
Well, unless I'm betting the game.
I'm going to go – well, I can't pick the Cardinals, so I'm going to go to Phillies in 6.
I'll say the Cardinals in a sweep.
Well, that's just not going to happen. I can assure you of that.
I don't think anybody has a chance.
You heard it
the
here.
Cardinals right now.
There's no way that there's going to be a sweep either way.
I'll tell you what I want to see the most. Brad Lidge coming in to close the game with Albert Pujols hit the plate.
That'll never happen.
I want to see that so bad. I want to see where that ball lands. Because it won't be anywhere in the state that they're playing in.
That'll never happen. Ever.
If they're in Missouri, if they're in St. Louis, he's hitting it to Chicago.
All right, well, Philly, let's talk about that Brad Lidge situation quickly. What are the Phillies going to do? You think Pedro, you said?
I think they had to put Pedro in there. He's the only person.
Does Brad Lidge make the playoff roster?
I wouldn't put him on it. Not knowing that I have to play St. Louis if I won.
But they have a lot of injuries they're dealing with. Romero, Chano Park went out. And don't talk bad about Park. He's been pitching pretty well lately.
He's the worst pitcher ever.
He's not the worst pitcher ever.
He's one. Yeah, I know. The other guy is the guy we're leaving off the playoff roster. Brad Lidge.
I've been saying struggling. All right, so you're going Pedro.
I'm going Pedro.
Madsen and Myers are other 2 possibilities.
No, Madsen's the 8th inning guy.
You
can't put him in the 9th because he'll do the same thing.
Yeah, I kind of like Myers if he can get healthy.
I don't know with that hip.
I kind of like Pedro too. That's not a bad idea because
Pedro's got the experience. He's got the rings. He's got the hair.
Who's your daddy?
The Yankees are. If Don Zimmer's out there, he's just going to go at him like crazy, throw him right on his head.
I don't know. Pedro is feisty. I like that in him, and I could.
Jerry curls.
He does. He totally does. It's like Eazy-E walking out there.
He's throwing the heat out there now too. His prerogative, Bobby Brown.
All right, so we're gonna go. I'm going Phillies and Red Sox in the World Series, and I like the Phillies to repeat just because I'm a homer a little bit. But I like their team. I think they're good, and you have the Cardinals and Red Sox.
Oh, I don't want to pick the Cardinals at all, but I just think they're the best team in the National League.
Do you think they're the best team in baseball?
Yes.
Cardinals and what?
Cardinals and Red Sox in the World Series. Cardinals win in 6.
I'm going Phillies in 6 against the Red Sox. That's gonna do it for MLB edition of Gadiel and The Teeth. We'll talk next Thursday probably about baseball for another update.
Still got another couple weeks for the playoffs, but we'll see you next week.
Good night.
Good luck.